Here's to the finest crew in Starfleet.
When it comes to my crew, you won't get any argument from me.
This is a parody. Paramount owns the song.
Welcome to The Greatest Generation. It's a Star Trek podcast by a couple of guys just a little bit embarrassed about having a Star Trek podcast. I'm Adam Pranica.
I'm Ben Harrison. We rolled something last time, Adam. We've got a Measure of a Man episode in the works for today.
Yeah.
It
brings a sense of order and stability to my universe to know that you're still a pompous ass.
Courtroom is a crucible in it we burn away irrelevances until we are left with a pure product, the truth.
When people of good conscience have an honest dispute, we must still sometimes resort to this kind of adversarial system. Hopefully we can make some good law out here.
And for good measure, sit on this.
It occurred to me in the run-up to this that I have a rain check that I can inflict on you at any time. You still have to do your 5 shots episode. And I thought it would be funny to stack that on top of a Measure of a Man episode just so your arguments would be less likely to be as persuasive as mine.
Wow. What a thing.
I'm not going to do that to you.
What? You're not? You're just going to fucking tease?
I mean, I still could.
The reason I made that face, the face that you and the FODs watching the stream can see, is that I kind of got obliterated last night, like weeknight drunk.
Okay.
And so I'm already like, I've got that low level, like that tinnitus style headache. Mm-hmm. That's not actually a headache. It's just more of like a needle to the temple.
Right. But a little hair of the dog would sort that right out, I think.
That is a very hairy dog, man. I mean, would that work? You're far more of a boozman than I am. Would it work?
Am I? I didn't get shithouse drunk last night. I had a couple of tequilas and then I went promptly to bed.
Yeah, we're fine. Both of us are fine. Everything's great.
Am I radically underestimating how much drinking I do week in, week out whenever a medical professional asks me about it? Maybe.
You gotta tell on yourself in those conversations, Ben.
I do.
They need the full picture.
I actually did recently tell on myself big time, and nobody seemed to be particularly concerned.
And they temporarily confined you for observation.
I'm going to get a sleep study done.
Oh, cool.
I started snoring like all of a sudden, like 2 months ago. Like I've never been a snorer, and suddenly I started, and I went to the ENT, and they were like, well, you've got really big tonsils. You got a couple of big naturals in there, and that might be the issue. I don't know. We'll do a sleep study.
They didn't want to yank him out?
I mean, they're saying that might be part of the solution, but then I heard somebody on a podcast say that they don't do that anymore, and I was like, well, the ENT I went to said that they do, so I don't know.
Well, I happen to think the opinions of podcasters are important, and you should follow their advice most of the time.
Well, this is a men's health podcast, and that's
it is.
That's something that we try to advance around here.
It really always has been.
I don't know. What do you think? Should I make you rain check it today?
We can't tease it and not do it. Fuck me, man.
Okay, Adam, you talked me into it. I am pulling out from my wallet the rain check that you gave me.
Okay.
I am plunking it down on the barrel head.
Okay.
You know, you always drink alone.
It's the antidote.
Warriors drink.
I'm sorry if I've ended our friendship.
What is required of you today is not only to either argue vociferously for this episode being good or against this episode being good,
right,
as determined by a coin toss, which will happen in a moment, but you also need to do 5 shots of alcohol along the way.
Okay.
Or right up top, whichever you prefer.
Okay. Will you give me a moment to procure and present said alcohol? As I have showed up to record unprepared for this.
Wayne and Garth, please play him off.
Ben, I've gone and selected the boozes with which I will shoot today. And I thought about doing like a variety pack. I thought about doing one hardcore thing, like all whiskey or all tequila, because fuck me, right? What I decided to do was 4 shots of something that tastes good and a airplane shot of Jepson's Malort at the end, because I don't deserve good things.
Wow.
So what I have that tastes good is a bottle you might recognize, the Hawaiian Akola How.
Okay.
100 proof. Cane alcohol. And this stuff really rips.
Yeah.
But what it also does is taste great. And I wanted to make sure that I wasn't suffering too bad on the taste train. So we're going to do 4 Akola How and 1 Jepson's Malort. That's going to be the way I pay you back.
It would be fun if they looked the same in the shot glass and you had like 5 shot glasses lined up and it was like a Russian roulette kind of deal.
Yeah, that would have been great, wouldn't it? Ben, we've got another bit of business to do. That is the flip of a coin to determine what side of this episode we will be arguing on. One of us, just a big fan
Yes.
of United, the season 4 episode of Enterprise.
One of us occupying the role of like a guy who has a YouTube channel that's all about shit talking a show he allegedly loves.
Right.
So I have the coin from our Share Your Embarrassment tour here. Of course, entrepreneur on one side, fan dance Uhura on the other side. Adam, call it as I flip it.
Bandits!
You are a winner, my friend.
Okay.
So, did you like this episode, or did you fucking hate this episode?
I really liked this episode. But because I'm going to be doing the heavy drinking, I kind of feel like it would be more fun to be on the other side of
Mad
it.
drunk Adam.
Just know that in my heart of hearts, I do love this episode quite a bit.
Okay.
But I can't say that on the show.
No, you cannot say that as we review Season 4, Episode 13 of Star Trek Enterprise, Untied.
Got a free speech and guitar.
The Jepsons is going first. Wow. Apparently the barrel-aged is a little bit smoother.
I just wanted to get it over with. I think that's kind of my personality. I just want to get it over with, the bad thing, whatever the bad thing is.
The guy at the liquor store said he had it out on the counter right by the register. And I was like, oh man, what's this about? And I was talking to him about it. And he was like, yeah, I mean, like, we don't really sell a lot of them. It's kind of the shit post of merchandising that we have it out here.
Well, where we left things in the previous episode, a great episode in my mind, unlike whatever we got here, is the ROMs have this ship, and it can look like any other ship.
Right.
And it's remotely controlled from a base on Romulus, and Trip Tucker and Reed are trapped on this thing. And they've been using this ship, the Romulans have, to mess up the relationship between the Andorians and the Tellarites. Things between those species are so bad that they got into a scuffle on Enterprise where Shran's girlfriend got shot.
She sure did. You're in the bottle, and we are still in the battle as we pick this episode up. Trip and Reed on the bridge of the aforementioned strange Romulan drone ship, and they're trying to get a sense of it. They don't really read Romulan or anything, and there's like the facsimile bridge in the Romulan capital that it is where everything is being controlled from. And over there, the ROMs are working on reactivating all of the holograms with a new configuration.
They do this while, I mean, they still have time to spin cycle Reed and Trip inside, right?
Yeah.
You gotta, no matter how hard you're working, you still gotta make time for fun, right?
They won't last much longer.
One of the things I love most about this, Adam, is how much fun they have with Trip and Reed. You know, Trip and Reed have been stuck in spacesuits in dire straits together before. This episode, I feel like, takes that to a whole new level.
The thing you need to know about the ROMs is that it's not just about winning, whatever battle they're fighting, whatever conflict they're in the middle of. It's about winning in a specific way. Because the way of the cold open that they're trying to win is they want to fire on this Rigelian ship. They want to permit it enough time to get a distress call out, because the way that they've camouflaged themselves is to look like one of the dumpiest, shittiest ships in Star Trek history.
Oh, how dare you!
The NX Enterprise.
The reveal is that the new config is the Entrepreneur.
Woo!
And they take out the Rigelians, and that's our cold open.
That woo was for the first shot of a Coley Howe going down the hatch. I remember it being a little smoother than this time.
A little palate cleanser, though. It was at least washed away the malort.
Yeah. This palate is clean!
So when we come back from title sequence, we get a little Starlog about how the delicate truce aboard his ship is holding, but Archer has now learned of the destruction of this Rigelian ship, and because the Rigelians got the distress signal and the last images of the ship that attacked theirs, there's a warrant out for Archer's arrest.
Like, what would it be like if every time you got I ran the stop sign speeding ticket, you had access to the video and you could like show that to your friends? That's the energy of this scene, right?
Yeah. When you get the like thing in the mail where it's like a picture of you behind the wheel going over the bridge or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, Archer is talking about what the Romulans are up to here is they're attempting to destabilize the entire region. They're not just trying to pit the Tellarites against the Andorians and vice versa. It's like make everybody around this part of space suspicious of everybody else, so that no, Federation could potentially foment.
It's kind of a great plan, and I find myself on the Romulan side. That's part of this, right? Do I get to be on the Romulan side?
You align yourself with the villains.
Not only must I not like this episode, I must be in alignment with the villains of this episode as well. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do.
T'Pol can track the Marauder now. She's got like a bead on the warp signature, and Travis has worked out a way to build a sensor grid. Only one catch on the design of Travis's sensor grid. They're going to need a shit ton of spaceships to make it happen.
How many ships will it take to make this work?
Only 128.
But where will they get them?
When Mayweather strolls into scene, like with a way to help, I'm like, what? Why, Mayweather, I forgot you were there on this show.
Just like being back in the room.
Who are you?
Ensign Travis Mayweather.
Parents must be very proud.
When I was a kid, we called it the sweet spot.
Who are you?
I'm the helmsman.
I guess growing up a boomer has its advantages.
And your mom? Very proud.
That's true.
It takes practice.
Other than keeping Ensign Mayweather up at night, I'm not sure what we expect to accomplish here.
It's a great plan. It's a plan straight out of that episode where Data gets put in charge of another ship.
And he yells at that guy.
Yeah, that enter-robot.
I'm wearing the Brandon Bird, the Mark Twain episode shirt.
Yeah.
And it makes me think that there should also be a shirt that says the episode where Data yells at a guy. Because that's how I'll always think of that episode.
Mr. Hobson, you will carry out my orders or I will relieve you of duty.
Shran goes to visit Talus in 6 Bay, and they're talking about her wound, which did not look super severe. Like, if this had been a bullet, it seems like it wouldn't be.
Ben, I gotta ask you, you wanted to see gash here, didn't you?
I mean, you see a little bit.
I don't think you see enough gash in this scene.
Well, they had to tile out the good part.
I think that's what works against this scene in this episode and also the one in the previous one is like she shot at close range, but we're not seeing the extent of the damage. We're only hearing it described by other people, and Shran's doing bits on patients here. Like, I don't know what to believe.
He's trying to reassure her, Adam. He's doing his very best.
Ben, he's at her bedside. Only one thing happens when you're at someone's bedside. The person in bed dies.
He doesn't sit on the edge of the bed, though. So I was holding out hope at this point in the episode. She does say, like, she wants him to upend her, but nothing about how hers was the greatest intellect or anything like that.
Can I tell you something that will probably not surprise you about, like, what I'm like deep down, like past the artifice, past the presentation, past the performance.
The character of Adam from the Greatest Gen podcast.
You want to know what the real me is like?
Yeah. You're really getting drunk. You've only had 2 of the shots, and you're really starting to bear all.
I better take another one before I tell you this. I'm going to need a little help. Here's the third of 5.
Wow. What a clip we are moving at.
This is 100 proof, right?
Yeah.
I love how Talos says, "Don't let me die unavenged." A couple mornings ago, I'm out walking Ripley. And in LA, in a car, you got to wait a couple of beats before going on a green light because folks go through pretty stale reds fairly often. And me and Rip are at a crosswalk waiting to go. Main thoroughfare through LA. Like, this is a busy street. And we wait a couple of beats when the crosswalk light is illuminated, and we start to go, and like a full 5 seconds later, a truck goes through this intersection, like without stopping. And if we had not waited those couple of beats, Ripley for sure, and me probably are killed by this truck.
Damn.
Like, no doubt. And it was like disturbing. I didn't like that feeling of like knowing to a certainty that like you're just a few seconds away from that.
I don't like hearing about what could have happened to our podcast.
So I sit with this all day. And the way it goes in our household is I walk Ripley on the weekdays. My wife walks her on the weekends. And before she goes out on her walk on the weekend, I tell her this story as a reminder that shit is crazy out there in these LA streets. Please be careful. And what I said at the end of this story, tell me how I should feel about what I said.
Okay.
What I told my wife was, if I were killed in this way, I do not forgive.
Like, go after their ass?
Absolutely get their ass for that. Because dying stupid like that would really piss me off.
Yeah.
I want to believe I'm a better person than that, but I feel like I'm like Talos.
I don't want to have to get a model of the Starship Enterprise D and spray paint it white and chain it to a road sign somewhere near where that happened.
But every time a Star Trek podcaster dies, that's what you have to do.
I know. I'm just saying
We all know
I
this.
don't want to have to be in a position of having to do that. I don't want you to die.
Yeah.
This would become a pedestrian safety podcast. We would make a hard pivot away from men's health and toward pedestrian safety if that happened.
I like the bench for that show. I like a you and Wendy and Bill pedestrian safety comedy show that somehow gets more listeners than what we do here. I could see it.
If we change the words, then it's fair use all day long.
Archer would like to work with Shran on this big project of creating a sensor web. Shran doesn't know that it's a sensor web thing. He's like, well, whatever project you want to do, if it involves killing some Tellarites, count me in.
Yeah. The thing about Shran is that I know the rules of this episode are for me to dislike it and everything about it. I can't with Shran.
Yeah.
I fucking love that guy.
I mean, he's a bit of an antagonist in this episode. I think for large swaths of this ep, you can align yourself with Shran.
Yeah. On Romulus, our bad guys are dealing with the political fallout of the whole drone ship being damaged and in danger of being found. And there's a senator on the scene emphasizing just how far down their pants are being pulled at this point, and they cannot afford for the rest of the species they've been fucking with to point and laugh at them.
The issue is this thing is built on a platform of an existing warbird. They took a warbird apart and rebuilt it as this drone ship. So if the species that they're trying to fuck with get their hands on it and the Vulcans are allowed to examine it, the Vulcans will know what it is and where it came from. And he's like, bring that fucking thing home. The second it is space-worthy, because it also has these self-repair technologies. I will see you later. And he opens the door, and there's some remans in the hallway.
How about that? From that movie that everyone loves.
With Tom Hardy.
I need to take off my I hate this hat for a moment and just say, I like generally in movies and TV when characters involved in a plan like this make mistakes. Because the thing about Vrax is that he misunderstands about this ship. He's like, no, man, like without a crew, no one will ever point the finger at us. But like to be involved in this mission and either he forgot or is not read in on the idea that this is built on a Romulan warbird platform.
Yeah.
And so it's his ass in a sling in kind of a surprising way for him.
Don't underestimate our distant brothers.
I was just blown away that these remans were there and nothing is made of it at all.
Can you imagine how bad those fucking loafs smell after sitting in a warehouse since that Star Trek movie was made? God.
I admire the gall of being like, let's remind people of that one.
Remember how a Halloween mask smells, like even after 15 minutes?
Yeah. I used to have a werewolf Halloween mask that if I put it on, my dog would like lose his mind at me.
Oh, in a way that wants to hump?
Like in a like, that's another dog, and I need to like find out what's going on with the fact that there's a dog here.
We need to put this other dog in a timeout until we can figure out what's going on.
Yeah. In the Clarinet rental closet, we learned that the mysterious Admiral Gardener has called and basically said, yeah, we'll like try to send some ships, but it'll be a long time till they get there.
Are we ever going to know what Admiral Gardener looks like? Or is he just going to be a mysterious, unsexual icon in the background?
Okay, here's the theory. Is Admiral Gardener Boothby?
I think that's what Boothby calls himself. He's the admiral of his own garden. The way Francis is the admiral of his bathtub in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah, the way George Costanza is master of his own domain.
Exactly. It's a coverage problem, Ben. You cannot cover the amount of space that Mayweather needs with 23 ships from Vulcan.
So maybe the Andorians and the Tellarites can get involved, but, you know, to quote Hunt for Red October, isn't this many Andorian and Tellarite ships in close proximity inherently dangerous, Mr. Ambassador?
Clearly they would work terribly together, but what other choice do they have? Like maybe the humans, and by humans I mean Enterprise, can be the go-between.
Yeah.
Between these two species. The stakes are so high, it seems like that's what they're going to be forced to do.
We haven't pissed those guys off yet, so maybe it'll work. And T'Pol's like, good luck.
It might work.
You don't sound too optimistic.
You have to remember that T'Pol and Vulcans have like an understanding about these species that goes back far longer than the humans.
Right.
The humans are so optimistic about their ability to bring peace and cooperation that T'Pol, in the back of her mind, is going to be like, these fucking guys. I swear.
But they're also like so far up their own ass about their logic that they have no self-awareness about how much they piss everybody else off, basically.
God, isn't that the dream? Over on the Romulan drone ship, Trip and Reed are exploring the different systems that run it, and they're attempting to get things on board livable in a way that would allow them to take off their helmets. That would be nice, right?
Yeah.
If this is a ship without a crew and it's run by a computer, maybe by shutting off that computer, they can get out of this pickle.
Some of these circuits are live. I don't know what they're for.
Trip manages to get life support online and says that they'll have air and heat in a bit. But they're speculating. They're like, why do they even have the bridge? Like, if this is a robot, you know, like, why does a Waymo have a steering wheel and pedals? What's it for?
That's a great question. I've yet to take my first Waymo, and I keep threatening to.
I mean, I think in the case of Waymo is like, this is a kind of car that we can get our hands on.
Yeah.
A kind of car we cannot get our hands on is car with no steering wheel. Like, nobody's manufacturing that yet.
I think there's much like a person boarding a commercial aircraft thinking that they could land the plane if they had to.
Uh-huh.
I feel like when you're in the back of a Waymo and shit goes wrong, like, you want to believe you can grab the wheel and figure things out. The wheel is there for that.
Yeah. Andorian Tellarite negotiations do not go well, Enterprise. We're in the conference room where Archer is pitching this, get a bunch of your ships over here and make a web with me idea. And Archer has, he kind of claws everything back. He's like, okay, you guys are at each other's throats. New pitch. Instead of acting like your asshole species, act like my species, not an asshole kind of species.
Why don't the two of you try behaving like humans for a change? And you said you wouldn't be insulting.
I hate this. I hate how unself-aware Archer is in this moment. You know, the thing about humans is that when they're up against a challenge, they constantly work together to improve themselves. I mean, just look through all of recorded history. What a great job humans have done in doing that. And by that, I mean, please do not look into recorded history for humanity for any evidence of this whatsoever.
Yeah.
Please do not.
Just trust me when I say you won't find any infighting, you know?
I think the part that hits for these two is that if you're so stubborn, don't be stubborn against me. Be stubborn against this marauder who wants you to do what they want you to do.
Right.
Like, this seems to be far more persuasive. Like, Archer should shut the fuck up about what a model species humans are and instead be like, stop thinking about us. This thing out here wants you to do a thing. Fuck them.
Yeah. Do the exact opposite of what the ship that's going around pretending to be all these different species is trying to get you to do. And that does work.
Yeah.
They're persuaded. Back on the drone ship, Trip thinks he can get the controls back online and interrupt warp power. And he's like they can't read any of the screens, but they can kind of like figure out by the diagram parts what things are and what things lead to. They find a door to a power coupling that can shut the ship off and make it not a threat any longer.
It's a good thing the ship isn't a uniquely generalized design.
Right.
You know, it's understandable to them. Anyone who's ever read a Haynes manual will have this thing figured out.
And so the Romulans in the alternate bridge back on Romulus are freaking the fuck out because they're like, oh shit, they're about to pull the plug on our whole thing. God damn it.
They've been very confident up until now.
Yeah. Brian Thompson stays confident, though. He's like, there's plenty of deadly stuff in the room that they're going into. Like, I am not worried about that.
If you had the face of a Brian Thompson, I think would people confuse you for being confident in every situation?
It's a face for confidence, but I feel like every time you like look at a mirror and it shatters and you like walk down the street and like catch your reflection in the window of a store and the window shatters because your cheekbones are so fucking sharp. Brian Thompson obviously does not have my temperament, but if I had Brian Thompson's face and my temperament, I'd constantly be like, oh, sorry about breaking the rear view mirror on your car.
This is what I don't understand about modern Hollywood, who seems so focused on like removing their buccal fat and like making their faces as slender as possible. Why don't you work out your face a little more like Brian Thompson?
Yeah,
you know that guy's hanging barbells off of his cheeks and smiling to get that thing into shape.
That guy never skips face day at the gym.
Yeah, no. Every day is face day for Brian Thompson.
So he's like, seal that guy into the service junction. And sure enough, the door rolls shut and Trip is like, oh, fuck. God damn it. It's like haunted house rules. You walk in here and then the door swings shut behind you and you can't get it back open. And on the 1MC, Brian Thompson starts taunting him. He says, go ahead and undo all the shit you did, and I will stop irradiating you. And suddenly, these green rods in the ceiling heat up.
These are Rom Rods. like this color green. So Romulan.
So fucking Romulan.
Yeah.
And they are so radioactive that Trip has about 7 minutes to live. Plug warp power back in, or you're dead.
Aerosolized coolant is pouring into this compartment. That can't be good.
No.
Legally, it's just a fart joke. You will never take the greatest gin alive. Ben would rather die.
What?
On Enterprise and Archer's ready room, Shran and Graal have agreed to the mission.
Grudgingly.
And they'll share codes to do it.
Yeah. They didn't forget how the codes go.
Shran admires Archer's executive artwork in the room.
Yeah.
He's pumped to do a good job on this mission. He's seeing big picture. Shran is like, we do a good job here, man. You're going to need to take out this door, extend the wall, because we're going to be making more ships named Enterprise pretty soon here, based on what we do here. You get me?
There's going to be a picture of the ship we're on as the next picture.
Archer's like, why wouldn't we just move the pictures like over one spot to the left, and then like that would make more room for another frame?
There's like a good like 11 inches between each picture frame. So if we cut that to like maybe 7 inches, like I feel like we could fit one more frame down at the end. And Shran's like, you're not thinking about all the holes in the wall. You're going to have to go back in with patch compound and sand it and repaint the wall.
You know what? The thing about Shran is that he lives on an ice planet. You know how you patch a hole in the wall on an ice planet? You just breathe on that hole.
Yeah. He goes around with like a squirt gun.
I feel like that's a sex rap lyric. You got to breathe on that hole.
Mm-hmm. I made a sex rap playlist the other day just for fun.
You do that for Daron? Get him started early?
The boy.
Like the Kids Bop version of sex rap?
Yeah, what would Kids Bop do with the E40 song Gimme Head Ho?
That's up to you. On the drone ship, Trip has 3 minutes until he's dead. And he's hitting switches in an effort to save himself, and Reed wants to shoot the door as the solution to this.
Yeah.
That's not going to work.
I like that Trip is successful in cutting off the radiation for a minute. Reed's like trying to use his phaser to get through the door, and Trip is trying to hack the part of the ship that Brian Thompson is using to try to kill him.
I don't feel like Reed is trying here. I feel like he knows this isn't going to work.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit suspicious when Reed was like, is there anybody would you like me to write a letter for?
I need something to do on this ship, Commander.
Oh, fair enough. I'm just hoping we don't keep you quite so busy.
Brian Thompson is on the 1MC. It's fairly constant. The refrain of, I'm the only one that can save you. Mm-hmm. I'm muscular-faced Brian Thompson. Reverse all the damage you've done, and I will let you go free.
Trip is denying him, and yet, like, the radiation comes right back on.
Yeah.
And it's looking pretty hopeless over there. But over on the Entrepreneur, we learn all 128 ships that they asked for have answered their call and are in position.
I was pretty surprised by this. I think this is fairly unlikely.
That came together so fucking fast.
You gotta believe that a few of those ships don't answer the hail.
Maybe they sent out, it's like a wedding. You invite 200 people and hope 128 show up.
I mean, in my case, I invited 12 and 10 showed up. But your point stands.
Yeah, I couldn't make it that weekend.
Dr. Phlox has some bad news for Archer, and this is actually worse news for Shran, who goes to 6 Bay to hear it personally. RSVP Talos. When Shran goes to cry at her bedside, it's just another example of Andorians having big feelings.
They're a deeply feeling people. I hated seeing her antennae flopped backwards like this.
Does that qualify as being slicked back? Hey, I'm going to do a shot for Talos. Hey, do you have a studio bottle? We should do shots for Talos.
Oh, I could run and get a studio bottle. Well, it looks like it's too late.
Woo!
Pour one out for her.
Was this a bad idea?
No, this was a great idea.
Okay.
Trip is now like just desperately like disassembling anything he can get his hands on in this little vestibule that he's stuck in. He's trying to Shimoda the whole ship.
Incredible!
Nothing's working. He cannot shut this down.
Yeah.
Reed is starting to like desperately offer capitulation to the voice on the speakerphone. And Trip actually has to order him. He pulls rank on Reed and says, I'm ordering you not to save my life, not to do the thing that this guy is asking.
Because we don't negotiate with terrorists, basically. That's the energy here.
The fate of the alpha and beta quadrants kind of hangs in the balance.
And fucking Reed does turn back on the Matrix, so Trip Tucker will live.
I love this move by Reed. Archer talks to the Tellarite about, hey, we're waiting for the sensor web to work. Like, we have to be patient now. Like, we have the web in place, and once some movement happens with the drone ship, we will pick it up. So chill, guys. And Shran is like the guy who is already overserved at the previous bar that he was at, trying to barge his way past the doorman at the club. Hey, no, my friends are in there. I gotta talk to them.
That's just it. Like, he says he wants to talk. He just wants to talk. A little too much. I think he gives himself away here. I just want to talk, guys. I swear.
Yeah, methinks the Shran doth protest, and the Mako guards are, like, not very good at...
Yeah, basically the Makos are a swinging door here for Shran to get through. And this is the best part of an absolute dog shit episode, because when Shran gets in there... An angry person is so much more threatening when they're not yelling and they're instead super tamped down. Very much in control of their emotions. Makes them feel more lethal.
I only want to talk.
So we got Ambassador Grawl and his flunky Narg, who was the one that grabbed the pistol and shot Talus.
Narg is such a dipshit name, too. Like, perfect name for Narg, right?
Yeah. Basically, Shran wants to, like, do the eulogy here so that the murderer is forced to hear it.
I love this. I love how he's doing it to make Narg feel bad. He wears a blood belt buckle of Talus's blood that he then pours on Narg's hand.
Her blood is literally on his hand.
Yeah. And then he drops the bomb. It's Ushan time.
Oh, fuck.
And that means he's challenged this guy to one-on-one combat. And if he does not, the Andorians are going to pull out of this whole plan.
We have to fight, or there's not going to be an alliance. There's not going to be a sensor web.
You take a look at Narg, and you take a look at Shran, and you're like, Narg is going to get his fucking ass kicked in. Like, this guy is dead meat.
I thought his nose was pretty flat now. It's about to get pummeled into a pancake.
He's going to carve his pear ass up. On the drone ship, Trip is down for the count. He's doing that thing where, like, you're wearing an EV suit and you were wearing a helmet, but you're not anymore. So your head doesn't rest on the ground.
Yeah.
So when you're down for the count, your head is for some reason like
flopped over.
It looks dumb as hell.
It looks very uncomfortable is I think what they're going for. Like it evokes the pain and suffering that he's going through.
If you say so.
But one thing that is dumb in this scene is Reed, who goes in there to get him, and the door just fucking swings shut again.
Fucking Reed. This is realistic, right?
Did you not see that coming, Reed?
Even Trip is like, come on, man. Come on, man.
Oh.
What?
Wait. Did Reed see this coming? In fact, he did, because he left his phaser set to overload in the other room, and now he just wants to unscrew a panel and get them as far away from the bridge as possible so that they are not consumed by the explosion that will set back the drone ship's self-repair pretty dramatically.
All we got to do is unscrew these 40 Allen wrench things. You got to go all around this door one at a time. I'm sure it won't take long.
Commander, it's about as simple as disassembling a piece of IKEA furniture and reverting it back to flat pack form.
And Trip's like, why would you ever do that? I just hit it with hammers and put it in the recycling bin.
No, they're not gonna sue. They got no case. Cause parody indemnifies.
They got to get as far away from the bridge as they can. And like, they can't really use any code to talk about this. So the ROMs are aware that this is going to happen.
Yeah.
There's a big internal explosion and their connection to the drone ship dies. Meanwhile, Hoshi and T'Pol and Archer are meeting in the clarinet rental closet to go over the rules of this Ushan. It's your basic fight to the death. It's a ritual that a lot of aliens seem to have. like dueling seems to be a part of a lot of these alien societies.
But I like the specificity of when you live on an ice planet, you use ice carving tools for this duel.
Yeah, we learn about the Ushan Tor.
An old friend. I carry it everywhere.
I mean, it was obvious that Shran had an unfair advantage before, but we learned that they learn how to use these from a very young age on their planet. So it's just not likely. And Archer's like, well, it's kind of a moot point because the Tellarites aren't going to let that guy, Narg isn't going to represent them in single combat. That's not something the Tellarites can get behind.
How is Daron doing on his melee weapon training at this point?
He's good with two-handed stuff, but like a single-handed weapon like this, I wouldn't send him into single combat with yet.
But you're sticking one in his bedroom, to just be comfortable with, right?
Yeah. He keeps an Ushan Tor under his pillow most nights, if not a mechleth,
Archer goes to visit Shran while he sharpens this thing for his duel. And Archer tries to talk some sense into him, but Shran is trying to talk some sense into Archer. Look, what kind of leader would I be if I didn't project an air of traditional Andorian authority? I got folks paying attention here. Archer, I doubt anyone's paying attention to what you do.
If I act like a little punk ass about the death of Talus, that's it for me.
Yeah.
They're not going to commission another ship based on the ice cutter that circumnavigated the Andorian homeworld.
Archer's like, look, I am so without honor. I am such a little bullshit bitch boy that I'm looking for any sort of thing in the text, in the footer of what this rule is, to try to do some funny business with you. How about the right of substitution? You ever hear of that? Because guess what, man? I'm the new player too.
Whoa!
On this bitch.
And he takes Narg's quarters off the machine and puts his own quarters on.
Incredible.
Yeah, Shran is like, well, I'd really rather not kill you because you're my friend, Archer, but it seems as though I don't have any choice at this point.
I can say this because I am liking a bad guy thing. Shran is so fucking cool during this scene. He's like, Archer, man, god damn it. We're buddies, but I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm gonna kill you so dead and I'm gonna regret it. Guess what? When I get back to Andoria, I'm gonna spread your blurred all over the place. We're gonna make a little museum exhibit about you. I'll make sure they do you right.
It really worries me that that's how you feel about your best friends.
On the drone ship, I think Reed and Trip are both kind of impressed with the kind of damage that one exploded phase pistol can do to this thing. Kind of admiring the destruction in a fun way.
We learned recently on a TOS episode that if this were to happen on a Federation ship, you would have to call double red alert.
Yeah.
That's how dangerous it is.
You'd have to call John Woo red alert. They do not.
Drone ship is in very, very rough shape. And they're like, okay, well, next step is try to get in touch with the entrepreneur. But we cut over to the remote bridge and learned that thing is already self-repairing.
Yeah.
They're going to get telemetry back soon. They're going to be able to pilot it back like their senator boss told them to.
It seems like a big goal at this point is to just get this drone ship healthy enough to enable self-destruct. Either we get it home or we self-destruct it, but whatever the case, the drone's got to be self-repaired enough to do that.
I really like this next scene with Archer because he's talking with T'Pol and she's like, why did you, who cares about Narg? Why are you taking Narg's place? And Archer's like, don't you get it, T'Pol? if I die, there's still an alliance. Like, who cares if I die? And she's like, well, I have to give it to you. Like, that would not cause any alliances to fall apart. The death of Jonathan Archer.
As the host of Greatest Generation, who's legally obligated to dislike this episode, I have to agree that no one would care if Archer died. That it's actually, in the long run, a good decision. But here's the thing that I wanted for this episode that we didn't get. One of the reasons that it's so bad. We need to get a little bit more Narg here. There's a character on the periphery of this that has got to be feeling some stuff about being challenged to a duel and then being fucking cucked by Archer.
Yeah.
Like, no, man, no, Narg. Guess what? I'm going to be stepping in your place.
And with the complainy gruffness of Tellarites, like that,
totally.
That is like a great opportunity for comedy. Like, what? I didn't agree to that.
Yeah, exactly.
But in a very like Larry David kind of way where he like wants to complain about it, but he also doesn't want to complain so much that he gets stuck back doing it, you know?
Yeah.
So we go to Mayweather and Hoshi, who are up real late night on the bridge. And they're doing something that, you know, is just the seed of an idea in their era, but will become something of a Starfleet tradition, which is try to come up with some fiddly legalistic way to loophole their way out of an alien ritual.
Incredible that we're seeing Mayweather again. Involved in an A story.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
Saying stuff out loud and everything.
We move this study group to the mess hall, where we learn that there are 12,000 amendments to the honor code here. And that's just making things impossible for them to find this loophole. They're trying to find a loophole in a haystack here.
Yeah.
Is there a way that we can make Archer win while at the same time not killing Shran? That's the question. That's the question of someone who knows how much cooler Shran is than Archer.
And how crucial Shran is to the success of this television program.
Yeah. Yeah. We cut directly from this location to the Ushan about to pop off in the launch bay. I love that the launch bay is the location for this. The reason I like that is because the Chekhov's launch bay door is ever present here. I kept waiting for that to be a part of this.
Yeah, there was this kind of like dangling cut where Mayweather was like, well, I've been in space way longer than any of you. I know my way around a weird alien ritual.
Yeah.
And the fight starts.
It's a Beat It video style night fight where they're tethered together with a cable.
Yeah. There was something about the tether gauntlet that they are each wearing that did remind me a little bit of the Spiky Bird.
One of the great TNG episodes.
You're saying in character.
Yeah. I'm here to play a role, Ben.
How many shots have you had?
Oh, I gotta do my last one. Let's go ahead and get this over with.
Let's do it.
This is, just to recap, a shot of Malort and 4 shots of 100 proof Akoli Howe.
To your health.
Fuck. Not smooth.
Lots of slashing and hacking and stabbing, but for some reason the grossest looking thing to me was when Archer got the cable around Shran's neck, and the way Shran's neck loaf bunched against it was just like, ugh. So upsetting.
Yeah.
It looks like he's about to kill Shran.
Do you give up? In the blood sport parlance.
Do you yield?
I won't cease or desist, 'cause we really think it's fair use.
We cut to 6 Bay before we get an answer, where it's revealed that Archer has cut off one of Shran's antennae.
You should have cut off my head.
I considered it.
And it will take 9 months to grow back if he does not use the creams and unguents that Dr. Phlox prescribes. If he does, it'll grow back in like half that time. That's nice, right?
That's good. And this, Archer says, sort of uncertainly, settles the Ushan, I think. Because you like couldn't fight any longer. Because your antenna was off, therefore you couldn't fight. And that is the like win condition. So, like, within the legalistic structure of Andorian tradition, we did it. Shran is like, you know what? You were really cool about my culture and tradition, and I respect that. So you get a sensor web. And just like that, they find the Marauder.
Yeah. So Enterprise heads that way, but the ROMs can tell that Enterprise is heading there, and then they activate their holographic skin. On board the ship, Trip and Reed can tell that this thing is back to almost full strength. And when Enterprise rolls up and looks on screen, this thing is presenting as a Vulcan ship. And Archer orders weapons ready to fire. And in the Romulan base, the Senator's on the scene. This is exactly what you don't want if you're the ROMs in this base.
Right.
Is a bunch of paying attention by the political apparatus.
Like somebody who's presumably answerable to constituents having big feelings about what you're doing here is just, that's going to distract and degrade your battle readiness in big ways.
Yeah.
And he knows that Trip and Reed are on board there. That's a big issue for him. How did he find out? He says he has his sources.
The Senator is pretty ripshit about how badly they've bungled things. You got to destroy Enterprise. That's pretty much looking like the only way out of this pickle.
Yeah. Speaking of bungling, Reed and Trip are still over on board that ship, and T'Pol would like to beam them out, but says that we need to get way closer to the Marauder to do that. And
choose a window seat and not an aisle.
Yeah. It's going to have warp capability in just a couple of minutes, so they're struggling to shoot it because this thing can do these like roll maneuvers where it duck dodges out of the way.
It's very exciting.
Yeah. It would be easy to make fun of this being a weakness of Enterprise, except for Reed is over on that ship. Presumably just getting like his spacesuit must be so smooth at this point, given how many times they've been rock tumbled.
The tactical officer on Enterprise right now is trying their best to like get this field promotion. It's got to be so upsetting to like have an opportunity like this and know that like, fuck, it's just not happening.
Yeah.
Cannot hit the target.
And they get hit, and that knocks out their sensors just as Trip and Reed are getting to the airlock to try and jump out of the drone ship. And so T'Pol is like, fuck, I can't even scan for them.
This whole moment where like Trip and Reed do it themselves, like they can't depend on being transported out. They gotta be vomited out of this thing.
Yeah.
What the hell? It's not as if they even jump. It's like they stay in place and the ship
rolls out
them
from under them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stand up and cheer moment when we see the task force of Andorian, Tellarite, and Vulcan ships show up to help the Entrepreneur. What happens is the Marauder goes to warp and the task force goes to chase them, and the Entrepreneur stays behind to beam up the boys. And Trip and Reed have a little moment in the EVA suit locker room where they're getting out of their suits, and Trip is like, hey man, thanks for saving my life. It's a shame I have to court-martial you over disobeying a direct order.
You know what a swim call is, Ben?
I don't know what a swim call is.
I was just reading about this week. Like a swim call is when a military ship pulls up and their crew kind of jumps in the water and swims, like for rest or recreation. And this moment where Trip and Reed are in space, it's like surrounded by these giant ships, made me think of the swim call as a thing, because like you're out in the middle of the ocean and like you jump off of your destroyer or whatever, and you're just swimming in water that is like miles deep.
Yeah.
And there's a deck gunner like ready to shoot sharks up above you. Like, what must that feel like? I think it feels like what Reed and Tripper are feeling in this moment, like to be two little people in space, surrounded by these giant ships that then leave them. Like, that's the danger of the swim call, I feel like, is like, if you can't get back on the ship,
Yeah.
That's a terrifying thought, right?
Swimming in blue water is really amazing.
Yeah.
Highly recommend if you ever have an opportunity. I did it with a blue whale one time, like flippers and mask and wetsuit off the coast of Catalina. And we were like out to blue water and a fucking blue whale showed up. It's like one of the coolest experiences I've ever had.
I snorked in Hawaii on like one of those tour vessel things where they just take you out into the ocean and you do it. And like the things that you hear underwater in a situation like that, I can't do you could do an impression of that, but I can't.
Yeah.
It's really incredible.
I won't. I don't want to betray the secrets of the deep.
No.
It's all a joke. Trip is not going to court Marshall Reed. He's just doing it for tricks.
Malcolm, you're just such an easy target.
Do you do bits on heroes? I don't love this.
I liked it. I thought it was fun.
Yeah. Reed, I need very little reason to get you locked up. You know that, right? I fucking hate you, man. Do you understand that it's your word against mine? I'll lock you up and throw away the key, goddammit.
They meet up with the fleet, and Archer reports to the ambassador, T'Pol, and Shran in a scene where I felt like it was very notable that there was one member each of the 4 species that found the Federation.
Little on the nose, right? Like, it's weird that they're all bringing laurels to this meeting. Like, they're all just sort of carrying them like it's fucking Palm Sunday or something.
Well, they have to fill in on the other side of the lectern.
So stupid.
So good. Some Tellarites got rescued by some Andorians in a scrape. There's a little glimmer of hope for this shaky new alliance.
There's nothing like a common threat to bring people together, right?
I like that the Tellarite ambassador and Shran do a human greeting, shake each other's hands.
Shran should have fucking stabbed this guy. Shran should have like done the handshake and then chop with the ice axe. And then he's just like shaking the severed arm.
If Narg had been there, I think that might have been on his mind, but this was Grawl.
Fucking Narg.
It's such a fun moment because, like, you see it in the moment that this is exactly what the Romulans were afraid of, and they sort of, like, accidentally made it happen by trying to make the opposite of it happen.
I think, like that Simpsons line, you tried your best and you failed. The lesson is, don't try at all.
And I was thinking, like, there is another story in this arc. Like, the next episode has a 3 on it. What is up here?
Yeah.
And we cut to Romulus. The drone has come home. The drone is back in Romulan space, and there's a reveal. The helmet comes off the head of the pilot that's been in computer land this whole time. It's one of those blind Andorian guys, Adam.
Yeah, the gimp is white. Did you like this episode? I can't pay.
Good for late.
Got no case.
Tempting fate.
I loved this episode, Adam. Did you like this episode?
I fucking hated it, Ben. It was bad.
Do you want to read some Priority 1 messages?
On my way there.
Priority 1 message from Starfleet coming in on secured channel.
Need a supplemental income. Supplemental. Yeah, it's extra.
By the interest alone could be enough to buy this ship.
Ben, we got a promotional Priority 1 message here to start us off. You want to hear how that goes?
I do.
I just want to say that Joey Ducky Peters bought a promotional Priority 1 message in good faith, not expecting its host to be totally shithouse drunk.
Don't worry, Joey Ducky Peters. I'll tell Adam how to say Gagarin later.
Dissidents of Utopia is a series of science fiction novels about Starship Gagarin's mission out among the stars. Earth has come together in peace and democracy, even though the rest of the galaxy isn't quite so advanced. I'm shooting for something that lives up to name brand science fiction franchise's progressive reputation that maybe it doesn't live up to all the time. Hey, check it out. There's 2 books out now. And P.S. When you boys run out of entrepreneur, you should promote Santa Monica Mountains. It's greatest gen.
Whoa.
So let me get this straight. Joey Ducky Peters is saying instead of after doing Enterprise. We've talked about it. We've talked about circling back around to Star Trek The Next Generation. Joey Ducky Peters is saying we pivot into a Baywatch podcast. Ben, I have a question. Would we even change the name if we did that? I want to say no. Like, I want it to be so inscrutable at that point.
Yeah.
The Greatest Generation is a Baywatch podcast at that point. What do you think? I may be 5 shots in, but I think Joey Ducky Peters is making some sense here.
Making an interesting point. I don't hate the idea.
Yeah.
Maybe we can get Rob to do a poll in the next greatest newsletter or something.
You know what? I will go with whatever the poll says. My intention was to eat my own tail and go back for Star Trek The Next Generation. But if the FODs say we would rather have Baywatch, fine.
Yeah.
Baywatch is an inexhaustible resource.
There's so much Baywatch.
I don't know how many episodes there are. There's like 1 million episodes of that.
There's so many episodes of it. So the call to action, do you want to do that part?
Ben, you got to search for dissidents of Utopia and refugees from Utopia, where fine ebooks are sold. You know where those are sold, right? Mm-hmm. Visit projectgagar.in. I need to spell that out for you. projectgagar.in.
I don't have any trouble spelling Yuri Gagarin's last name personally, but if you do, Adam just spelled it for you.
You're so fucking smart, Ben. Visit projectgagar.in for links to bookstores that aren't Amazon. That's how you can do this.
All right. Staying utopian, even in the way the book is sold. I love it. Thank you for that kind message, Joey Ducky Peters. How about another promotional message? It goes like this. Friends of DeSoto, beware. Music algorithms are Borg and will assimilate you. The Heathen Disco newsletter is here to prove that resistance is not futile. Get reviews and links to some of the most daring independent and DIY music in the galaxy straight to your inbox twice a week. All new indie, punk, hardcore, electronic, experimental, and ambient releases are waiting to be discovered by you. Get plugged in at heathendis.co. That's heathendis.co. Insert O'Brien drop.
I am Chief Miles Edward O'Brien. This is fucking spectacular.
The Heathen Disco. Maybe the only disco I want to go to.
¿No quieres ir al discoteca?
Pretty great. I love what they're doing here.
Yeah, this is like, man, more of this on the internet. Less of giant corporations owning everything. More stuff like this that isn't in the control of a bunch of scumbags, you know?
I like knowing what my friends are listening to. And this is like far more personal. This is really nice. Like, don't wait until the end of year lists of like best albums or whatever. This is like a weekly curation situation.
To stay right on top of things with the Heathen Disco.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Good stuff. Heathen Disco. heathendis.co. I love it when URLs do that thing where they make the last thing a part of the word thing. You know what I mean? There's probably a name for that.
Back when I had the Let's Drink About It podcast, our URL was letsdrinkabout.it.
Yeah.
And that was a real fun little thing.
It's really cool. Whatever happened to that site?
I don't know.
Then we got a priority one message here of a personal nature. It's from Andrew in Houston, who thanks us for an amazing show last time we were out there. You remember the Houston show?
I do.
Yeah, I do too.
Maybe one of the biggest fights we've ever gotten into.
This one's to Adam, Ben, all FODs, and my cats. These cats have names. Those names are Mochi and Noodle.
All right.
Here's that message. Her are my unsolicited top TGG episode titles. Number 10, Toot Sweet Goop Sweep. Number 9, The Patachlin Group. 8, Borg Dewormer. 7, The Necropomicon. Number 6, they paved over Urquhart with a parking Lurkot.
Good job by us on that one.
Number 5, Admiral Beltbuckle. Number 4, over-the-shoulder caveman holder. Number 3, you can't hua on the pickup. Number 4, a man, a plan, a berry on sweep, entrepreneur. And number 1, the number 1 episode title for TGG, as ranked by Andrew in Houston. My neck, my back, my reproductive sack. Truly one of the all-timers, coined by you, as I remember, Ben. That was yours.
I was going to say that was yours. Okay, well, one of us did it, and we both benefit. Everybody benefits.
I'm glad folks are keeping track. Like, this being our 10th year of existence on this show, like, I've been thinking a lot about, like, the best of the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Here's Andrew in Houston coming at us with an already curated list. I love it.
Huge amount of work went into that list. Thank you, Andrew. Yeah, by the time you hear this show next, it will have turned 10 years old.
Amazing.
Thank you to everyone who stuck with us through all of it. And thanks to everyone who got a Priority 1 message, whether it was on this episode or one of the millions that we've probably read out over the years. Your support means the world to us, and P1 is a great way to support the show.
You really need to get a Priority 1 message if you care at all about the things that you do.
MaximumFun.org/Jumbotron.
Hey, Ben.
What's that, Adam?
Did you find yourself a drunk Shimoda this episode?
Incredible. Drunk Shimoda! Of course, it's Trip. He's literally Shimoda-ing in this episode. He's pulling stuff out all over that vestibule. It's not for fun. He's not having fun. He's desperate and scared, but it's too hard for me to ignore that, to call anybody but Trip my drunk Shimoda.
If the job to stay alive is yanking hoses out of things, yeah, I mean, he's doing a great job. Is my job to still hate that? Like, are we done with that part of it?
Well, you can have a drunk Shimoda that isn't laced with derision.
I do want to say, like, from a production standpoint, there's a lot of stuff in this set that he is yanking on that I think you're pretty grateful doesn't really matter, you know?
Yeah, when they get that access hatch open and they just unplug everything to get through it, it's like,
that's what I'm
man.
saying. Nothing needs to make sense here.
Yeah. How about you? Did you have yourself a drunky little Shimoda?
Oh, I want to say the same. Like, yeah, absolutely. That seems like your role.
Yeah.
Trip understood the assignment here.
He really did.
Yank it all out.
Face of the fart.
All right, Adam, let's start talking about next week's episode. It's season 4, episode 14 of Star Trek Enterprise. It's called The Aner. Archer visits Shran's icy homeworld to find an Andorian subspecies called the Aner to determine their connection to the Marauder destroying ships in the region.
In my experience with the polar region, you want to wash the Aner kind of a lot.
Yeah.
If you're going to go to there. That's what my advice is. Keep it clean. Keep it ready. Wash the Aner.
Yeah.
And that goes for whether or not you're going to use it. Wash it for yourself.
Right.
Have a little pride.
Yeah. You want to get yourself ready.
What my favorite Peloton instructor says is like, if you're always ready, you don't have to get ready. All right? Stay ready all the time.
Wasn't Bruce Horak's character on Strange New World Hemmer? Wasn't he an Aner?
Yeah, let's go ahead and kill the coolest character of Strange New Worlds.
Bring him back.
There's still time. Hope they do.
Yeah. If Shax can come back, Hemmer can come back.
by now he's killed the many ghosts of his dad. He's ready to come home. Yeah. Pretty great sounding episode, Ben, if you ask me.
All right, Adam, let's think about how we will be experiencing that episode. To find out, we need you to head to gach.biz/game, where we keep the game of buttholes, the will of the Riker, quantum leap. Roll that bone, buddy.
I'm going to roll this bone.
Do it.
You're required to learn as you play. Roll.
Woo! Lordy! I rolled a 32. Okay. And that means we're on square 42.
Ooh.
Chula! Did I win?
Hardly.
So close to a drinking square, a Coco Nono square.
Yeah.
Did not hit it. It's a regular old episode. For that, I am very grateful because I got to tell you, man, these 5 shots.
You need to dry out.
Have done a number on me.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the FODs are going to love this episode, as they always do when one of us does a thing.
This was a ton of fun, Adam. We got some people to thank, including the Friends of DeSoto, who keep us on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
And especially the ones that go to MaximumFun.org/join and become sustaining members. Got to thank Wendy Pretty, the producer and editor of this program, and Rob Adler, the editor of The Greatest Newsletter and director of our social media enterprise. If you've got a social media account, follow @GreatestTrek, and you'll see posts about the shows, which we would appreciate a repost on, and you'll see the great trading cards made by the card daddy Bill Tilley, who he makes me laugh every time he drops a couple of packs of cards.
Bill Tilley is so fucking funny, it infuriates me.
Yeah, it's angering.
Look, when I'm fucking pancaked by a car running a red light in LA, like, make Bill the co-host.
All right.
I'm leaving the show to him.
Okay, he's your designated survivor.
And it's only because I feel like Wendy would she would fucking hate this. She would hate this so much. Wendy, it's yours if you want it, but like,
How about no?
I feel like you don't want it.
We got to thank Adam Ragusia. Hey, we make a show with Adam Ragusia every week called Wholesome. You can find it at patreon.com/wholesome_pod. And it's about stuff we really like. It's like over a year's worth of episodes over there now. It's quite the show.
Yeah, it really is. You said it in exactly the right way, Ben. It is a show.
We got to thank Diane Warren for creating the original Enterprise theme song, which we sent up so richly with Adam Ragusia. And we got to thank Dark Materia,
which we don't really have the bravery to do in person when we see her at almost constantly.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I've seen her 3 times at
Damn.
She's a fucking regular.
Let's not dox Diane Warren.
If you want to meet Diane Warren, go to...
Let's just say go to a Mexican restaurant in Los Angeles, and we'll beep out the specific one.
Go to your local Mexican restaurant and see what happens.
Yeah, she's probably there.
That's good advice anytime.
With that, we'll be back at you next time with another great episode of Star Trek Enterprise, an episode of The Greatest Generation Enterprise, where I'm guessing a lot of white Andorians are jumping off the back of crashed starships to their doom.
Make it so.
Hey, am I clear of the fucking debt I owe now?
Yeah, you paid it back.
I'm smushed.
Maximum Fun,
a worker-owned network
of artist-owned shows.
supported
Directly
by you.